Now at 9:45 today, we're taking a look at which social media platform might be better for your business, X or Threads. Both are battling for your attention in 2025, but they serve very different purposes. Joining us with insights on where to spend your time and energy is Senior Director of Public Relations at Gamble Communications, April Cattarella. Good to see you.
Good morning.
So this is interesting because Threads sort of came onto the scene in a flurry when X changed ownership and people tried to, go to a different spot. Meta came out with Threads, which was supposed to be kind of a response to X or Twitter. But you're saying now, they've kind of become two different things?
They have, really, you're exactly right. When Threads came out, it was sort of an introduction to an alternative to Twitter. But now, the way that they've evolved, both are still very popular, but they have different audiences. So you really have to think about who is on each platform if you're a business trying to decide if you should be on both or either.
Okay, so what are the differences? X has been around for decades, so there may be a lot of establishment there. Threads may not have as many people on the platform yet, but how can you utilize them differently?
Yeah, absolutely. So X is very good for news outlets, government entities, things that need immediate thought leadership. The content that works best there is going to be short form commentary, very text heavy, and making sure that you are, really focusing on real-time topics. Threads, on the other hand, has sort of evolved into more of a lifestyle and brands area. So if you're a business in, say, the service industry or a restaurant, it's a great place to be is on Threads versus X, because Threads has really started to be sort of a little bit like Instagram's little sister, but with less images. And it's about building community on Threads.
Okay, and whereas X is really an immediate response a lot of times to what's happening, whether you're watching it on TV or you're seeing it unfold in real life. Right?
Exactly. Like I said, X has that immediacy in it, and then Threads is going to be more about building, building a community.
So you were telling me in the break there that we have, you don't necessarily want to post the same thing on both, but are there audiences that are using both, or are they really separate audiences on either platform?
I think for businesses, it's really separate audiences. And so that is why, again, like you mentioned, you don't want to be posting the same exact thing on every platform. We see that as one of, the biggest mistakes that we, will do when we see social media audits is people are just taking the same content and posting it across 5 different platforms. Especially with X and Threads, you want to consider, again, the audience, who's listening, who's watching it, and the audiences have grown to be very different.
That's a great tip, because you really have to invest a lot of time and resource into making these posts and consistent posts. So
yes,
kind of trying to decide which avenue you want to go down. So I guess what would it be then if you are someone that needs that immediacy, you lean more to X, but if it's something about branding,
lean more to Threads, exactly. And I think that's the biggest thing that we talk about a lot is not just with Threads and X, but just identifying the platforms. It's all about where your audience is. We'll say that over and over again, because that's really what businesses should be considering. Where is my audience, and then what platform are they on? And it's okay to not be on every platform. It's important that you do the platforms well. So if you only have the manpower to do 1 or 2 platforms, figure out the best ones for you and really focus well on that platform. That's a lot better than stretching yourself thin and posting the same thing across 5 different platforms.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly.
All right, well, thanks for those tips. Some good stuff there. I'll help you out.
Thank you.
All right, time now.